If we can reach even one person for Christ, if we can even reach one person with the gospel, that's a win. And I'll keep grinding no matter how small we stay, because I know God is working and moving in our communities. If we can reach one person, if one person grows, if one person is discipled, if one person decides that they have a community, then that's worth it. That's worth all of it. Juju says, if he achieved this, he wouldn't have been crying. Would he even care about the loss of life if he got a ride of emotions? Exactly. And so it doesn't work in practice, Juju. He talks about that's what we're trying to do, get rid of the gyrations of the mind. But in practice, he's sitting there crying before everyone. And he doesn't see the dichotomy there. He doesn't. But he recognizes intuitively as a human being that his strategy isn't working. And that's why he's crying. He recognizes that strategy doesn't work. Jesse says, sounds like an abundance approach to love, by the way. Love God more rather than viewing it as a finite element that we have to redistribute. I love that, Jesse. Absolutely. The Christians in general play very small games. We squabble, and this isn't just on Twitch. This is just a Christian thing. I don't know why. But we do it in church. We form committees over the paint color in the sanctuary. We argue and squabble about, should we homeschool our kids? Should we public school our kids? And we need to answer those questions. Don't get me wrong. But when that's all we're doing, the real people out there who need real help aren't hearing the gospel because we're too busy with squabbles, with internal debates. And so that's what I want us to be more about as Christians, as Christian streamers. I want us to be more about, let's go get them, guys. Let's go give people the gospel. Let's go give people the real tools that can help them. Jesse says, just curious, Pastor Tanner, as pastor in both physical and virtual communities, what do you wish people who struggle with mental health knew? How do you wish they would engage with you? I think they need to know that there is help to be found. Because let's be honest, Christians also struggle with mental health. To come along and say all Reckful needed was the gospel is naive. It's naive. And it's absurd on its face because so many Christians are struggling with mental health. But I do know one of the answers to our identity crisis as human beings is found in the gospel. And how we apply that gospel is where the discussion needs to be had. But Jesse, what I want them to know is that we've got people who are killing themselves, literally, because they don't think there are answers. And we actually have tools and answers to help them. And here's what's needed, I think, maybe more than anything, is real engagement, real community. Dr. K talks about this in the lecture, so I don't want to give it away. I don't want to steal it like it's mine. So Dr. K talks about this, but he gave a good example. He said one thing that is important with mental health is fostering community and engagement with one another, helping each other hold up the, problems, their difficulties, helping each other pull the rope together. Community is one of the key aspects of this. But a community grounded in the gospel has the greatest chance of succeeding in these areas. Let me give the example he gave. He said, we talk about health, in terms of physical health. And he says, but what we're actually doing, we don't have health care. We have sick care. What is he saying? He's saying, guys, the things that make you healthy are things like exercising, diet, working on those things. But instead, we don't have health care. We have sick care. That's why the health system is broken in America. We wait till you get sick and then we give you pills. That doesn't contribute to your health. Health is something done incrementally before you're experiencing symptoms. That's where health comes from. He says the same is true with mental health. But rather than just having genuine conversations with each other and talking with each other about life issues, we stop communicating because of technology, and instead we source out human interaction to psychiatrists. He says, what I do on channel isn't psychiatry. I'm doing normal human being stuff. I'm asking them questions about their life. I'm talking to them. We need human interaction like that. Community. That's something we need. And what is that? That is, as exercise is for physical health, that is human interaction is for mental health. It might not solve all of your problems. You might still have some difficulties, but we need community. And that's something Twitch is so good at, is building communities. And now imagine we bring the gospel into that realm. We build Christian communities. Man, can we have an impact. And this is what I'm saying. We're playing too small a game, guys. We're squabbling. We're fighting over small things. when in reality, big issues are happening out in the community that we could contribute towards in terms of success and help. Because I really do wonder what happened to people who do suicide. Is that wrong? Like, where do they go, to hell or to heaven? The traditional stance, Saucy, has been that suicide is a sin, but it's not the unforgivable sin. Okay? So it is a sin to commit suicide, but it's also a sin to do many other things that we do in our lives. What that means is that suicide is not an automatically punch your ticket to hell. Okay? It's a sin, but it's not an unforgivable sin. It's not God's choice or plan or best for your life that you commit suicide, but I believe that somebody could commit suicide and still end up in heaven. But they are going to be when they get there, they're going to be very crushed at what they did, because they, in a sense, took out of God's hands his plan for their life and took it upon themselves. Jesse says, I think that clinical offerings feel like a safer community sometimes than the church community. Ouch. Oof, Jesse. And I think you're right. People, instead of going to the church for help on these problems and these topics, are instead going into a clinical situation. We've farmed out human realism, human community. We've left it to the psychiatrist to do all that stuff, rather than stepping in and doing these things ourselves. We're playing such a small game. I want us to play a bigger game. I don't know the answers, but we need to strategize. We need to be tactical about how we can reach more than just 50 people. We need to strategize and be tactical how we can reach more than just 100 people. This reminds me of the race issue we've been talking about as well. Why is the church so insignificant? Why aren't we making inroads and impacts in people's lives in these areas? I'm not some, prophet. I don't have all this great and grand insight, but I'm watching as people are turning to Healthy Gamer GG for answers. And again, like on the grind, let's pretend for a moment that I was partnered. Okay, let's pretend for a moment that I was partnered and we had consistent 100 viewership. That's one of the biggest Christian streams on this network. And here's what I want to say, guys. That is so small. That is so small. Now, I don't want to despise small things. If we could reach even one person for Christ, if we can even reach one person with the gospel, that's a win. And I'll keep grinding no matter how small we stay, because I know God is working and moving in our communities. If we can reach one person, if one person grows, if one person is discipled, if one person decides that they have a community, then that's worth it. That's worth all of it. But then I look at the big picture, guys, and we are tiny, all of us. All of us are tiny. Our platform is minuscule compared to what's available out there. And so that's what I want to do. I want to push for something more, for something greater, for something bigger. Not for money. I don't care. I don't care if I have 0 subs the rest of my Twitch career. I don't care, okay? And I love your guys' support. I appreciate that. But I don't care about that. It's not about making money on here. It's not about, being able to make a living on here. Would that be great? Sure. Fantastic. But that's not what it's about. We have an opportunity here. We have a platform. And we're tiny. All of us. All the Christians are small. Every single one. I don't care if you take the biggest Christian Twitch streamer ever that's on here. We're tiny. And we're clawing for minuscule goals. There's a big game out there to be played, guys. A big game. And it's one person at a time. It's one person at a time. And here's what I want to tell you guys. Genuine compassion, genuine caring with each individual person is one of the key components to this. I'll tell you that much. What is great about social media? Authenticity. Authenticity. Part of why Dr. K has so much following is because he is bawling his eyes out on stream, and he's not manufacturing that. He really cares, and people can really tell. If you come on and you're trying to grow for the sake of growth, if you come on and you're trying to grow so that you can make a living off of this, people can see right through that. They can see right through that. Instead, if you come on here and authentically care about your community and your people, that is when what people are resonating with. And that's what's so powerful about social media. And that's what's so powerful about streaming. You guys are a part of my life. You guys are a part of my life. And you watch me as I fumble and struggle through all of this. You watch me falter. You watch me fail. You watch me pick myself back up. And some of you have been the victims of my faltering, failing, and you've been forgiving and loving and kind and gracious during all of this time. That authenticity, people can appreciate that. People respect that. And that's something so powerful about social media. That's something so powerful about these tools that are now available to us in our day and age. And the church needs to figure out how to leverage them. Individual Christians need to figure out how to leverage them. These are the tools God has given us for such a time as this. Now let's utilize them. But one of the key ways is authenticity. If you care about growth for growth's sake, people will see right through that and you'll never grow. But if you care about people, I heard one person put it this way. You want to know the way you grow a large following? You care about your small following. You care about the people who are there now. Stop looking for the next big thing. It doesn't matter. I don't know how long this will take. I don't know how long it doesn't matter. There are people here and now who want to be a part of something. There are people here and now who are a part of this community, who want to engage, who want to have good discussion, who want to have solid discipleship. And here we are. Here we are. And if we're having authentic discussion, if we're burying our souls before people, if we're saying, guys, I'm a mess. I'm sorry, I keep messing up. I'm trying my hardest. Trying my hardest. And you could try your hardest too. That's what can really be done. That's where the power is here. And there's just a handful of us here on Twitch, But we can do that. We can be the change we want to see. We're not consigned to destruction. We're not consigned to, there's just going to be a handful of us at any given point. We're not consigned to that. God is working and moving and growing in our communities and in our lives. And as our lives are changed, we are going to change the lives of those that we touch as well, that we interact with as well. We are going to have that impact upon them also. Alex says, I'm on Twitch for community. Amen, Alex. Exactly. That's why so many people come here. That's why so many people come here. And we as Christians can build the best communities, but we need to be strategic about it. We need to think about it. We need to engage with people in ways that make an impact upon their lives, that they recognize and realize, oh man, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. I love these people. That's what the church is supposed to be. Instead, we're known as a bunch of, haters. That's what people think of the church as right now. Ask any stranger on the street. What do you guys think of Christians? What do you guys think of the church? Bunch of haters. Why do we have that? Why is that our calling card? Why do people think of that when they first think of Christian? Dare I say we need to reduce or even eliminate some of those behaviors that we're taking that cause people to think of us as haters? The world has a false sham, a fake view of love. It's a sham. It's not even helpful to people. Christians have real love available to them because God is love. And we just keep it all to ourselves. I've grown a ton interacting with you guys on here. An absolute ton. You guys are awesome. We sharpen each other. We grow, we develop. I'm a way better Christian than I was 3 months ago. Way better. And I still have lots of faults. I still have lots of problems. I still have lots of failures. But I am a way better Christian. People talk about personal discipleship and growth. It's insane what God has been doing in my life and heart here. It's absolutely wild. I think these genuine communities that we're building are the communities where this can continue to happen. Hey guys, Pastor Channer here. Thanks for swinging by. Hope you liked that video, and if you did, would you mind hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below? More than that, if you head down to the description, you can see links to both our Twitch and our Discord. We would love to interact with you more live, so if you'd like to catch us there, that would be great. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Take care. God bless. Bye now.